Jack, can you hear me?
Yeah. I'm trying to see here. Hold on a second. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay, good. Then I can get rid of this. There we go.
Awesome.
How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Great to meet you. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, no problem. Good to meet you too. Where are you?
I am Hollister, California. It's about 40 minutes inland from Monterey.
Yep.
Just south of the Bay Area.
Yep. Used to live in Concord.
Okay. Yeah, we're playing Vinny's in Concord on the 5th.
You were just there?
I was.
No, we're playing there on the 5th of November. Sorry.
No. Girlfriend's standing. I was just there.
2 weeks ago.
She was just there.
Oh my gosh.
Tell Bob.
That's hilarious.
Tell Bob.
So that's your old stomping grounds.
Yeah, for when I was in like middle school. Then I moved down to Huntington Beach.
Okay. Yeah. I'm actually originally from Southern California.
Yeah, where in Southern California?
Simi Valley.
Okay. Yep. Oh, yeah. Know it all well. When were you there?
What was that?
When were you there?
I moved up here in 96.
96. Okay. Yeah. So yeah, I worked at KNEC.
Oh yeah, I know KNEC very well. Yeah. I still, in my river shed, I have an old BC Rich Warlock guitar with the KNC sticker still on it.
Oh my God, that's awesome. That's awesome. You'll have to send me a picture of that.
Oh yeah, I will.
Totally.
That's awesome. That's really cool.
That's very cool. Awesome.
Yeah, KLOS was the other big one.
Yep. And then there was just before KNEC went on, there was also KMET.
Yeah. I remember Mark and Brian were like the big guys, the morning show for KLOS.
Yep.
That's some good stuff back then.
Really cool. I did the morning show at KNEC with Thrasher, who came to us after he left us and went to go work for Mark and Brian. He was engineer Ted with Mark and Brian.
Gosh, why does that sound familiar? Did they ever talk about engineer Ted?
Oh God, yeah, they were there.
Yeah, I was gonna say
all the time. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Dating ourselves.
I know. That's all right. There's no words now.
Funny. Well, again, thanks for having me on. I really appreciate it.
No, totally.
Having a chance to connect with your audience and everything, and to meet you as well. It's great.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, I'm gonna ask the first question. I'm gonna be the millionth person to ask you this question. I know, I get it. I'm that dude. But tell me, what is Corvus Lore?
Corvus Lore, quick and simple. It's the original hard rock band that, music style wise, is hard melodic rock.
Okay, all right. But where did the name come from?
It was a little bit of an accident. The original band name was actually Silent Picture Show.
Okay.
And our first album, Silent Picture Show, album name Corvus Lore. And we were contacted by another band, their attorney, whatever, and they said our band name was too close to their band name, which it was a reach. We just said, screw it, we'll change the band name. And it was Eric, our lead guitarist, who just said, hey, how about we just never sells Corvus Lore? I mean, it was just kind of, okay, we just went with it. So nothing profound or anything like that. It was
right.
It's actually a cool accident. I actually think Corvus Lore is a better name, to be honest.
Yeah. I was looking it up to see, where you might have gotten the name from. And the only thing I could find was that it was some mythical god's bird.
Well, Corvus is the scientific name for raven.
Right.
Yeah. So, but yeah, I guess the folklore behind it and all that. I don't know. Yeah. Eric again was the brainchild behind the name and the art and everything. So, but it just worked.
Awesome. No, it all works. So how did the band all come together?
Yeah. So the band, really, I think the band was really pieced together by Mike and Eric. So Mike, our bassist, and Eric, our lead guitarist. Mike and Eric were in a lot of tribute bands. Well, I don't want to say a lot, but they were like in a foreigner tribute band. They're doing that whole circuit. They met through that circuit, played together for many years on and off. They broke away. I met Mike at our church and was doing some worship with Mike. And I played Mike some of my original music because I was going back and forth to LA still, doing a lot of studio session work, writing my own stuff, and being very blessed and fortunate to have someone like Greg Bissonette to play on some of my tracks. And I played Mike some of my stuff, and he was like, "This is cool. I think, maybe, we should get together. I know a lead guitarist." And Joe Cloutier, our drummer, he was also playing on and off through the church. And yeah, we just all got together one day, one afternoon at Joe's place and played, and just to test the waters. And Joe's wife came in the room and said, "If you guys don't start a freaking band, you're idiots." So that was kind of it, in a nutshell. And we just focused on original music from there on out.
That's good. So you play, so the band starts and you're playing a lot, I'm guessing up in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
What's the original music scene like up there now?
It's popping, in my opinion. I mean, there's a lot of great bands that, the Bay Area has to offer. Unfortunately, as you would know, I mean, just getting, new music out there in the mainstream is the biggest challenge. It takes a whole village, right? I mean, it's a business, as you know. But there's a lot of great bands that are up here, and we feel like venues, I mean, we all know the tribute thing is a pretty big and popular thing, and venues are running their business and they want to make sure they have ticket sales. So getting your foot in the door as an original artist, it's pretty tough. They want to know, how many ticket sales, what you're following, all that stuff. And so there are opportunities. There's some great places that are opening the doors to original bands, and rightfully so, because it's hopping pretty good, in my opinion.
Good. That's good. That's good to know. I mean, when I was obviously at KNAC, and the Sunset Strip was, there's a million bands that were playing original stuff, and that's just seemingly gone away. Where I live now in Florida, there are none. That's
crazy, because so the last time I played, well, let's see, we just opened up for Richie Kotzen down at the Canyon Club in Southern Cal. And so that was a great show. And places like that are doing original artists. But again, the tribute scene, which there's some phenomenal tributes out there, that just seems to be the big focus, right? And the last time I played the Sunset Strip was the Roxy back in the 90s, really. But yeah, it's pay to play down there. That was the pay to play days, right?
Oh yeah. So I've heard, I was really listening to two songs. One is, excuse me, I need my glasses. One was Boxing Ballerina, and the other one is the greatest title for a song I've heard in years, which is Romantic Traffic.
Oh, that's awesome. Oh, wow, thanks.
But what I got out of that was your band the songs sound like I should already know them, if that makes sense, because they're totally unique, but they feel familiar, which is I think which is a compliment coming from me. For Romantic Traffic, I'm listening to it. If I turn away from it, I'm thinking, am I listening to a Stone Temple Pilots song? And then the guitar solo hits, and I'm like, no, I'm not listening to a Van Halen song. It's a nice blend that you guys have put together for other stuff. And the Boxing Ballerina one is, I turned it on, walked out of the room, and I came back in. I thought a Bowie song had come on.
Oh wow!
So it's you've got a great mix of influences you're drawing from.
Well, thank you. That's an incredible compliment. I mean, some of those names that you just reeled off are some of my heroes, to be quite honest. Writing music, I mean, like we all know, in my opinion, it's a it's the ultimate form of expression. There's just nothing greater. And writing music that, for lack of better words, obtainable, right? It's a challenge, right? I mean, I want to be able to write music that, it's an earworm per se, but still being true and authentic to the band and not trying to sell out or anything like that with, whatever, we all want to write the hit, whatever, but just don't care about that. Just write what comes, to you naturally and go for it and craft it and, try to just be yourself, which I think again is the most important thing when it comes down to music. It's just, it's expressing yourself, right? And we love it. We love it. The writing process, as I'm sure you know, it's not easy. It's a challenge, huge challenge. But we love writing music all the time. I mean, there's a million ideas floating, and not all of them stick, right? There's a lot that ends up on the cutting room floor.
Sure. What is your writing process that you go through?
I am like writing all day long as I'm walking around, first of all. For Corvus Lore, typically our writing process, I'll come into the band with like maybe the foundational pieces, a lot of the bones. I'll already have potentially scratch lyrics penned down. The melody is already pretty much there. And then we all get together, the four of us, and we just really scrap it out in a room together. Everybody just adds their twists and turns, bells and whistles. And so it's a collaborative writing environment, but it usually starts with me presenting the song to the band, and everybody else, we just take it from there.
So are you music first or lyrics first?
It's funny. I'm really glad you asked that. That's an interesting question, because I know for a lot of people, sometimes it's like melody first, right, or things like that. I would say for me, it's about 50-50. I'll have a riff and then I'll build the melody around that, or and if the melody kind of starts taking over a little bit, I'll adjust the riff to accommodate the melody. But then there's a lot of times where the melody's first, or going back to your comment about Romantic Traffic, the title, just a song title will pop in my head, and I'm like, "Ooh, crap, that's kind of a cool idea. Can I build upon that?" So, yeah, I'm not really setting that one way or the other.
No, there you go. Romantic Traffic came from just the title.
Yeah, well, Romantic Traffic is really about my travels and business and the inspiration of it. And so the title's a little deceiving, because it's about my, like I said, crazy travels and just for business, where it's taxing, it's dirty, it's a lot of work, it puts strain and stress on relationships. There's a dirty side to travel, and we all love to travel, maybe not all of us, and there's great sides of traveling, but there's also a dirty side. And so Romantic Traffic is trying to paint the picture where it's like, there's dirtiness behind the traffic that goes through your head of traveling, and that's kind of the core of it all. And everything's not always rosy. So that's what it means to me. And that was the inspiration in a nutshell.
And you can see that in the video. The plane scene is fantastic.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Well, it was funny. We that was the whole idea, right? So it was to show like, oh yeah, I'm going to travel and I'm surrounded by this, and I have to deal with that.
Right.
And I got some kind of funky, disheveled people I'm going to have to deal with. And so we're trying to show like, the not so pretty side and add some comedy to it at the same time.
Yeah, it was good. It's really good. It's a video that everybody should check out, not only because the song's great, but just because the video is very well done. I really like it.
That's Mike Sloat. So Mike Sloat is a premier video director, producer up in the Bay Area. That guy has magic, and he does a lot of videos for some pretty big names like Testament, Machine Head, and a lot of other bands in the Bay Area. So Mike just has that ability to craft like the story that you bring and then capture it all, and just world-class talent. So yeah, look him up. Mike Sloat, he's something else.
That's good. That's good. So what's next for the band?
Well, you know, it seems like nowadays everybody's just dropping singles and videos. We don't release full albums. I don't know. What's your thought on that? I mean,
if I could turn this computer around, I would show you a very big vinyl record collection. I love albums.
yeah, it's interesting how the industry is kind of just piecemealing things in, and I definitely get it. As a band, we talk about it a lot, but I guess to answer your question, I think right now we're going to probably release another single. We just right now deciding which single that's going to be. Wrap another video around it, and then just connect with Valley of Fire Records, whom we're signed on with, and just really decide if we're going to release the full album after another single.
Right.
Just try to line up some mini tours here or there. We'd like to start branching out of the state, you know, and hopefully get on some bigger stages and opening up for some national acts.
Yeah, that would be great. The sound, you've got the sound.
Well,
and,
thank you.
You know, and it's not like you're, you know, kids or anything like that. So you know what you're doing once you're on stage, I'm sure. Yeah, that's great. You've got I don't know how you got hooked up with Jody, and I realize it's her last name, but she is the best.
She's been phenomenal.
She's
incredible.
She's great. And she has, her and I work on a lot of other stuff too together.
Oh.
You know, anything that I can do to help, I don't know what that would be, but anything I can do to help, feel free to reach out anytime.
Well, you're doing a lot right now just by taking the time to talk to me and just, you know, spread the word. So Jack, really thank you very much for having me on, and just giving the opportunity to connect with your audience. It's fantastic.
No, my pleasure. I appreciate you taking the time to do this.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt, anytime.
Yep, right on. Well, next time that single comes out, we'll hook up again, and we'll see where we are.
Sounds great. All right.
Thank you so much for doing this. I appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
Yep.
Bye-bye.